Thanks, Tim, and good morning, everybody. I am actually a student in the Creative Communications program at Red River College. I'm majoring in journalism, so unlike Jocelyn, I haven't graduated yet, but I have found employment part-time over the summer, or full-time over the summer, I should say, and also part-time during the year. So I'll tell you a little bit about that and a little bit about some of the takeaways that I've gotten from just the whole job search process and the time that I've been employed over the last little while. So, I mean, like a lot of us who have disabilities, I found in high school that, you know, I just wasn't going to get the conventional kinds of jobs that people my age were getting. You know, I'm totally blind, so, you know, I'm not really going to be flipping burgers at McDonald's, right? So I started volunteering and just doing some internships. I've been volunteering at a radio station since 2007, and also did some. I also did an internship at Global TV in 2008 through a scholarship. And that was sort of my introduction to the workforce. And I found it a really good introduction because it taught me that people without disabilities who are employers, and I guess even if you're in a volunteer position, you could still call them employers. Like Paul mentioned earlier, most people are very eager to help. They might be unsure about how to do that, and they might be just a little bit worried about trying to make the experience for us as a person with a disability as productive as possible, but for the most part, they're very eager to help, and it's just up to us to, you know, give them a little bit of guidance on how to do that. So those were good introductions, but then I thought to myself, okay, you know, I really do want paid work while I'm still in school, because a lot of people do that. And even though as people with disabilities we have some funding opportunities through programs like Marketabilities that take care of things like books and tuition, it's just a good thing to have because it helps us gain experience and confidence and contacts in the working world. So, as Heather mentioned earlier, I signed up for the Youth Employment Project through Reaching Equality Employment Services, and that program taught me a lot of job skills and things like how to go through the job search process. You know, where to find jobs other than looking through the print version of the newspaper. You know, and also how to go about the interview process, how to disclose your disability, and you know, painting that in a positive light. Just sort of saying, you know, in my case, I am totally blind, and you know, of course I've told you why I'm qualified for this job, but there are a couple of things that would be helpful for me to have to be able to do the job well, and just, you know, painting it in a positive light so that your potential employers aren't scared and they aren't, you know, drawn away right away. So that's what the YEP program through Reaching Equality did for me, and it also gave me a lot of confidence that I didn't necessarily have before, because you get to meet in that program. You get to meet a lot of other people with disabilities who are you're in your same age bracket and are going through a lot of the same challenges that you are. So that's really nice. Around that same time, I also applied for the STEP program. A friend had told me about that and seemed to think that it was a really good idea. And went for some interviews. This was back in the summer of 2010 when I did Reaching Equality and first applied for STEP. Went for some interviews, and they went fairly well, but I think it was just sort of a matter of luck and maybe a matter of the jobs not being the exact right fit for me, but it was a great experience. Summer of 2011, I focused on school for the most part, but then for the next summer, I had started my creative communications program at Red River, and wanted to do something in the field. Creative communications teaches you a whole bunch of skills so that you can have a career in the media industry. And if I had more time, I'd go into all the ins and outs of that and some of the accommodation experiences with that. But for now, we'll focus on the employment end of things. I wanted to get something in my field. So one of the other things that I think a lot of people find useful, whether you have a disability or not, is contacts in the workplace. And a couple of years prior to my first year in creative communications, I had the opportunity to write a music column for a publication called Lifestyles 55, and that was through the radio station that I had been volunteering at. And did that for a few months, and I just found that because of time constraints, I couldn't keep it up. But doing that gave me a great contact. So when I'd finished up my first year in creative communications, called up the person that I knew from Pegasus Publications was the name of the publishing company that publishes Lifestyles 55 and a whole bunch of other publications. And I was aware of Reaching Equality's RINT program, where you do an internship. I think it's a 4 to 6 week internship, or at least it was. Or no, it's more than 4 to 6 weeks, I think. I can't remember the exact length of it. Heather would be able to fill us in on that. I know for my internship at Pegasus that I ended up doing, it started in the beginning of May and ended at the end of June. So that's almost 2 months. So I knew that I would be able to do that internship program if I found a place to do it, and this Pegasus Publications sounded like a good place to be able to do it, because I had that contact there, and I knew that the person that I was in touch with at Pegasus was aware that I knew how to write, and was aware that just because I was totally blind didn't mean that I couldn't do the job. So that was nice. I had an ally already, and she introduced me to her general manager, and he was a nice, very open-minded kind of guy, and maybe he wasn't necessarily sure right off the bat how I would be able to do the job. The job was basically writing articles for their different publications. But I just let him know that I used JAWS, the screen reading software. Like Paul said in the earlier speech, you let the employer know what you need and how that can help you do the job. Luckily, I had the software already, so I didn't have to ask them to purchase it or anything, because they were a private company, unlike government. They may not be as willing to do that as government would be. But everybody there were very, very open-minded, and we're just all about asking questions and being as helpful as they possibly could. And if there was ever a time when they, weren't being as helpful as they could, I would just ask, would you be able to do this for me? Would you be able to do that? And as Paul mentioned, most people are willing to do that. I think a lot of the keys are, as I say, focusing on your abilities as opposed to your disability, and just making the employer aware of what you do need and how that can help you, and of course making sure that you do have allies and trying to surround yourself with those allies and with those good people. So that internship went very well, and I still have a contact there to this day. Around that same time, I had also applied for STEP that year, because I wanted to give myself as many options as I could that summer. And I guess it was sort of luck involved, because they wanted someone who could write. And writing was one of my strengths through creative communications, and also through previous courses that I'd done at UW. And it's funny how jobs sort of work, because as Paul was saying, with my STEP job that I was being interviewed for, I wasn't really sure. Government. I had just come from this journalism internship, which I really, really enjoyed. The people were great. They were a lot of fun. It was, doing something different every day. And then here I was going to be working for the government. It's a little bit more buttoned down, more rules, and I just wasn't sure about that. But I did the interview, and it went well. And they didn't necessarily give me the job that I had applied for through the STEP program, but they saw the value in the skills that I had and the abilities that I had, so they allowed me to do a special project on how the government, the provincial government, and any government can make better use of technology. This was still a project that involved writing and involved a lot of research, things that are involved in journalism. So that was great. I enjoyed that. And that was in the summer of 2012. And from that point on, the STEP program hired me back part-time during the year, and I was there again last summer, and I'm still doing some part-time work for Entrepreneurship Manitoba, which is the department that hired me, still doing that work this year. And it's been a really, really valuable experience. And the advantage with the government, as other people have mentioned, is that they actively seek out people with disabilities. They have the resources and they have the funding to accommodate us. So that's kind of a nice experience. You know, there's a sort of a stereotype, and you can almost make light of it, that, you know, if you have a disability, it's kind of the law. You have to work for the government. That's what we all do. But it's a great place, especially to get some work experience in a very friendly setting. And the key in all of these jobs, I think, is just to be honest about what you can do, be confident about what you can do, and be honest about, you know, what you might need a little bit of help with. So I'm certainly grateful for these opportunities, and I'm actually hoping to get something a little more related to my field of study of journalism in the coming years, but we'll see how that goes. I'm sure there are some resources and some techniques for, you know, searching out jobs and for getting jobs that I still haven't tapped into, because of course I'm still a student. But I do think that education, confidence, having as many skills as you can, whether they are, you know, things like job search and interview skills, or just skills related to your field, increases your employability. And then if you can find the allies that will support you, whether they're specific people or specific organizations along with that as a person with a disability will allow us to get jobs and to be successful in the workforce. So that pretty much covers what I have to say, and I believe, since I'm the last speaker, that means it's question time, is it not?